Bear, I'm really sorry. I've got a 1-year-old crying in the same room as me, so I'm
Oh,
sorry about.
don't you worry.
Sorry
Don't
about.
you worry. It's like good. I've got dogs and everything. Like it's what it is. It's great.
Yeah. So I'm just going to start. I mean, of course, this series is very much about your guests and the kind of incredible experiences you offer them on the show. But what we often don't kind of focus on is how much you're still getting out of these adventures. So, still, after all these years, every time you put on those boots and head out into the wilderness, does that fire still kind of burn within you?
It does. I kind of like the actual filming side of things. I could maybe leave. I actually get quite nervous filming. I don't really like the cameras, but I've always loved the adventure from a young age, all through my growing up, through the military, through my job ever since. The outdoors is as a place in my heart that is everything. And so I don't know. I love my job. I love being able to introduce rookies, especially to the wild places. The great privilege of Chosen in the Wild and Running Wild is I get to take people to the real extremes, to some really remote places and canyon lands and mountains and forests and introduce rookies to the wild. And I love that. It's a great privilege. I think the wild opens people up and empowers people in a way, not much else does. So yeah, I love my job, super grateful, never take it for granted.
Of course, I mean you're a fan of The Chosen as well, of course. I mean, what is it about that show that you really loved? And was it exciting for you to be able to meet and spend time with the actors who you kind of grown to know and appreciate on screen?
Yeah, I think so. First of all, you're right. Like I've loved that show. It's been a real sort of, I don't know, it finds its way into people's hearts. And the viewership is crazy. It's something like 300 million people around the world. That's amazing. But I think so few of the viewers actually get to know what the actors are like as human beings. We know the characters they portray, but actually, what is it like for Jonathan Roumie to play Jesus in that sort of intensity, or Elizabeth Tabish to play Mary Magdalene? What's it actually like? And I think what's special about Chosen in the Wild is that it really gives these massive fans of this massive show a chance to get to know these characters that they love in a way they don't really know. It's not like Running Wild. People tend to know these Hollywood stars. If I take Matthew McConaughey away, they kind of get an idea. They already kind of know a little bit what he's like. But the fans of The Chosen are so passionate and yet know so little, and it's actually been a really sort of natural, smart way of helping fans connect with the actual characters of these actors. So it's I know it's going to do great. This is a show I think I've seen more fan excitement about this than anything I can remember for a long time. And it's a sort of testament to the power and the reach that The Chosen already has.
Yeah, because I mean we've spoken to Jonathan Roumie a few times now on the site. I mean, what do you now having sort of now spent some time with him? I'm so sorry about this noise.
I
What
know.
do you think what do you think makes him the kind of right casting for Jesus? And was there anything that surprised you about him when you took him out into the wild?
I think what was surprising is how open and honest he was about the struggles and the battles that he's faced actually playing Jesus. It's like don't underestimate like the weight of that. And people don't watch The Chosen just for entertainment. They're like so invested in it. And I think for Jonathan, it's like it's been a real, no pun intended, that cross to bear has been big. It really has, and it hasn't been an easy journey. And he spoke really honestly about that with us in a way that, he's not going to chat on if it's a chat show for 2 minutes, he's not going to go there, but you sit around a campfire with someone and you climb up a mountain, you get the real conversations. And I love that. It's one of the great privileges of my job. But I think he especially it was a really powerful episode for me as well. I really love that connection with him.
I mean, obviously, you speak about your faith, of course, which is a very relevant theme in this series. I'm interested to know, do you think that your faith has been kind of enriched by your experiences with the natural world across your life? Because you've seen the planet at its most kind of beautiful in many ways.
Yeah, I think sort of faith is a everyday part of my life. Quietly just helps me through so many things, not just everyday life, but also then when I'm out in these wild places. And I don't know, I feel always a connection with nature. And my spirituality is rooted in nature, really. I see all of that as beautifully connected. I see the Almighty running through all of that. So I don't know. For me, I actually struggle more in everyday life. I think I get more anxious in everyday stuff. For me, it's like returning to nature to find that connection again, and my faith comes alive in those places. So I'm really grateful to have a job that allows me to do that.
And just very, very quickly then, finally, talking of faith, do you think England will win the World Cup?
We always have faith. We always have faith. As they say, I think the Bible says it somewhere. Without vision, the people perish. So I am full of vision and faith. And Saturday, come on, England, we got it. We're gonna win.
I'm with you on that one. Thank you so much for your time today, Bear. It's been a real pleasure. And sorry again about the noise in the background.
You're a great dad. Well done, you, Stefan. Take care, buddy.
Okay, take care. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey!